Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and in today's video, the final countdown. No, but you do remember that song, right? No, but we are in a 16-day countdown, and I will clearly explain what I mean by that. If you appreciate the content, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification icon. You can, guess what? You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram even. You can find me on YouTube. And you can find me on TradingView, all one word, at Crypto Bull God. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others. Personal financial decisions are, guess what? Up to you, because you're a big boy or a big girl, right? So we can all make our own personal financial decisions. All right. With that being said, let's get into it. This is the Bitcoin monthly chart. And as you can see here on this chart, I have several red and several green lines. So let me clearly explain to you how I drew these lines out. Now, as you can see, the red lines are signaling a top and the green lines are signaling a bottom. What I'm also doing is I'm denoting these lines by drawing at the top of multiple candle bodies, right? Multiple candle body touches, multiple candle bodies. We have a wick in this case, all right? But it's essentially a ceiling and a floor. So let's go back in time and take us to the present time to understand where these ceilings and floors existed in price and how price reacted after such, okay? So here, this was back in 2011 and 2012. This was in 2013, okay? The price was all the way down here at $140. A ceiling and then a floor. You can see we hit another ceiling in late 2013, early 2014. And then we came all the way down here. Look at this floor, okay? Multiple touches here, but we never had a candle body close go below this floor of around $200, okay? Then that takes us all the way up closer to current times. This was the euphoric top in 2018. You can see the ceiling here, okay, in price. And then we travel in time here. I was here for this goodness, and we have a floor being created here. The thing to denote when I'm drawing out these ceilings and floor levels is no candle bodies are piercing it. It's denoting a flat horizontal level that is either resistance in this case with candle bodies or support in this case with candle bodies, and potentially some wicks as well. You can see another ceiling was created here and another floor. This was the beer virus crash. This takes us all the way up to 2021. Now, even though this is still valid in terms of being an expanded ABC flat correction, which I have spoken to plenty of times, an expanded flat correction is an ABC correction. The fact is this is really a double top, right? Because in late 2021, all we did was go 5% higher than where we topped out in early 2021. So you can see there's wicks, 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 candle body, never one above here, right? This ceiling right here, okay, which is being created in the price, all right? Now, if we travel down to current levels, this brings us to why 16 days is such an important time period for us to keep track of. Now, I am a big believer, if you've been here for a while, that there's no one single chart and no one single indicator that will tell us certainty. There's nothing that will tell us certainty within the markets. But what this monthly chart can do is tell us an increased probability of certain events happening. And let me clearly explain to you what I mean by that. This candle, which is set to close in 16 days for the month of November, okay? As a bull, we need this thing to close above. I have the line drawn here at 19,400. Now, you may go to another channel. You may go to someone else on Twitter, and they might have 19,005 or 6 or 7. We're squabbling over $100 here, okay? It's not worth it. The important point to keep in mind is I have the level as 19,400. So we need to close around that level to be bullish. Now, why is that? Why is that the case? Well, you can see we have a candle body here, a candle body here, a candle wick here, a candle wick here, a candle wick here. If we get a candle body close for November that closes below 19,400, it is not a certainty of anything, but I'll tell you what it does. It increases the likelihood, it increases the probability that there will be sustained downwards and sideways choppy price action below this 19,400 for many months before we start to get back above it, right? Versus, okay, if we have a real thin body, okay, a real thin red body, and it closes at 19,400 or above, there are two things being denoted by that. First, the story within the candlestick is there's seller exhaustion. There's a huge wick within this candle. Price went all the way down here and came all the way back up and closed above a key area of support. The second thing is because price level is closing above the support, it gives a higher probability for price to sustain ultimately above that level and continue onwards and upwards in the coming months, okay? So 19,400 is a critical level. Going into the next view here, again, this is a monthly view, okay? Now what I'm showing here are a couple things. First off, because we have closed currently and we have price action below the 17,600 low set in June of this year, what that has done is it has increased the likelihood that we could see further price action to the downside to lower targets. Okay, again, not a certainty, but increased probability of it, okay? I have a couple key areas of support here drawn at 13,800, 10,800, and 10,000. If we scroll back in the chart, it's real easy to see why I have this drawn. Candle body, we have a wick here, candle body. So that's the 13,800. 10,800 and 10,000, you can see the zones here of support and resistance within here. So really what I'm saying is the fact that we have now seen sustained price action below 17,600, guys, right now, until we can get above this 19,400, there's risk. There's higher risk, okay, that we could see downwards price action towards 13,800 or 10,800 or 10,000 price levels that I did not think we would be hitting, and price levels, and I'll save my thoughts to the end, but price levels that I ultimately still do not think that we're going to hit, and I'll explain why. I'll give you my opinion on all of this at the conclusion of this video. The last thing that I'm denoting on this monthly chart is this arrow here that's roughly 20%. So what is this roughly 20% denoting? What this is telling us is in this next 16-day countdown, what we ultimately need to see happen for Bitcoin is for Bitcoin, okay? Because again, Bitcoin, no matter what project you love, like HBAR or XRP, Bitcoin is the driver of value behind the entire ecosystem of cryptocurrencies, okay? Bitcoin needs to be doing well for the rest of the market to continue to appreciate in value, okay? So what I'm saying here is that Bitcoin needs to appreciate roughly 20% in value to get up to this 19,400 in 16 days. Now ask yourself a question. Is it possible for Bitcoin to increase 20% in the next 16 days? Yes. It's very, very possible for Bitcoin to increase 20% within the next 16 days. So this is not outlandish. So just something to be mindful of is 19,400. What does it mean if we close above it or below it? And how much do we really need to appreciate in price within these next 16 days? 20% roughly, okay? Now, what is leading me ultimately? I'm going to give you my thoughts here in terms of what I think will most likely play out by the end of the month. Will we be at or above 19,400 or will we be below 19,400? As much as the chart right now on this one chart is indicating to us, hey, look, there's further downside risk here. CBG, your risk invested in Bitcoin here has increased substantially that you could see further downside to 13,800 or below, because there's really a lot of white space in between here in terms of not having support, given that price has now gone below 17,600. So how could you not think that we're going to close below here and just be chippy-choppy for many, many months until we get above 19,400? Well, number one, I'd like to take you back to a video that I put out in August of this year, the very beginning of August, and I spoke to 21 independent data science models and charts that all spoke to today being a generational buy opportunity, many of which were reaching historic lows in those models, okay? Indicating that if the bottom wasn't in, we were really damn close to it, and it was just a generational buy opportunity, okay? The other breadcrumbs that I'd like to give you that are leading me to the conclusion that we are going to close at 19,400 or above are the following charts. if we were, okay, just to jump back to this chart, if we were to stay under 19,000, if we close below 19,400, okay, and what I'm saying is that substantially increases the risk, okay, on this monthly time frame that we will be under 19,400 for several months until we can break above it, right? What does that mean? We're still going to be in this bearish price action for the next several months, right? That's ultimately what we would be signaling. Well, interestingly enough, if we really think that we're going to be in this massive bearish continuation for several months, Ethereum dominance would not be holding up this well, guys. This is a chart that I've been speaking to for countless weeks, months at this point. Ethereum dominance should be dumping. Okay, the altcoins should be dropping substantially in value relative to Bitcoin. Their price performance, okay? The altcoins price performance right now should be substantially worse than Bitcoin. That's not what we're seeing. And the King altcoin is an indicator to tell us that. The other thing is, guys, we have come down for the 5th time. I told you what I felt, but based on technical analysis, what is most likely, based on the 5th separate time in history we've touched this descending triangle on Bitcoin dominance and the bigger picture bear flag on Bitcoin dominance, what does this actually mean in terms of the likelihood that now we're going to break down? Bitcoin dominance is going to drop substantially in value. What does all this mean? I've hit on this in many different charts. So this is signaling to me a massive alt season at some point. Altcoins are going to massively appreciate much more than Bitcoin. So this is the second chart I'm looking at. And also the DXY. Guys, we've been waiting for this parabola to end. The parabola in the DXY is over. We've begun correcting. All of that negative divergence on the RSI that were cracks underneath the foundation of the pricing structure within this chart that I've been indicating for many, many weeks now, it's finally playing out. In fact, I was hypothesizing first we'd see a drop to 108. We'd sort of bounce off there, get a little relief and go down. We dropped straight through the 108 region, and now it looks like we're going to be touching the 105 region, okay? My view on all of this, kind of picturing it together, okay? My educated hypothesis right now is that we're seeing a lot of downturn volatility in the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin setting new lows, right? But I feel like the prices should be catching up to this sort of narrative that's playing out in the broader context, holistically looking at the market. We have an inverse relationship that exists between the DXY and equities and crypto assets. The equity markets have begun to see some appreciation in value since the dollar has been decreasing, right? But we've seen this divergence in cryptocurrencies where they're not appreciating in value. I think at some point very shortly, that is going to change and we are going to do what we've historically seen, right? Because think about this. If the DXY were to drop, which is what the chart is strongly suggesting, and cryptocurrencies were to drop as well, that would be the first time in history where there would be a substantial drop in the DXY and crypto didn't go on a massive run. Go back in time and look at all the drops I've pointed out to you massively in the chart in the DXY and what has happened in cryptocurrencies. So the DXY's inverse relationship with cryptocurrency, I believe that relationship will catch up at some point here in the shorter term. Also, the Bitcoin dominance is something that I've been tracking. I think this pattern is going to play out. And again, I've spoken to the historical significance in terms of when dominance drops substantially, what that means for the crypto assets. And Ethereum is the king alt, and it's been expressing a lot of strength, and nothing has changed about that. So as much as we look at this one USD chart, and there is reason to be nervous as a bull, I'm not saying otherwise, I still think that sort of the way I'm phrasing it in my mind is price action has to catch up to some of these other views. There are too many other things occurring in these other three views that tell me that crypto assets still should be appreciating massively in value. We should be seeing this happen and unfold in 2023 like I've been indicating, right? That fifth Elliott wave. So until proven otherwise, again, I'm still leaning, I'm leaning bullish, no question, but I'm leaning towards a close at 19,400 or above for this month, and that is in 16 days. So we will come back here in 17 days, and we will reassess this chart, and we will see where we landed, and we'll have a discussion then. But I hope that you found this content helpful. If you did, share it with at least one person. Hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my analysis and provide supporting reasons why, supporting evidence why. So again, I hope you appreciated the content. as always, spread awareness and carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, fiat dollar, on Crypto Bull God and his crypto maniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market?